right, let's be serious, Puma. We're professional podcasters, okay? Let's be serious. So, 3-point plan for the Patriots. You've got to acquire a top-flight wide receiver. You've got to sign Mike McGlinchey, who's the free agent from the San Francisco 49ers. And you've got to give full-on control to Bill O'Brien. And basically, Bill Belichick shouldn't even go to the offensive meeting room, right? Let's start with the linemen. Obviously, Mac Jones is not Joe Burrow. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He can't get out of the pocket and create. So it is imperative with his lack of physical skill sets to get out and extend the play. You've got to protect him at all costs. One of the biggest issues this year was offensive line play. Now, I don't know if the offensive line itself was bad in talent or if it was Matt Patricia and the fact that he was coaching the offensive line and that's why they weren't getting coached properly. So we'll see this year if the offensive line takes a step up with the same kind of guys. If it was coaching or if it was more talent. Second one is you got to acquire a top flight wide receiver from Mac Jones. I mean, that's key. And not just a guy not just go out there and get like a Brandon Ayuk or a fast, like stretch the field kind of guy. I always believe it's important to find complementary quarterbacks and wide receivers. Like you can't pair up Mac Jones with Randy Moss. He doesn't have enough arm to get down the field. You feel me? He needs a guy like Hunter Renfrow. Like I'm not even joking here, Puma. Like you've got to find a Julian Edelman, Hunter Renfrow type of player that you can get the ball to quickly, and Mac Jones can obviously get the ball out quickly. So guys like T Higgins who are big, Mike Evans are big, get the ball out there and they'll make a play for the ball. And then finally, Bill O'Brien. I mean, there's so much pressure on Bill O'Brien. Like, do you understand the amount of like if it doesn't work out next year, like it's basically all gonna be Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones. Like there's so much pressure on these guys, man. They've got to correct it, and I think they will. I don't think it's gonna be what people want it to be. People are expecting this to be like the 07 Patriots all over again. You know how the Boston babies think about their Patriots up there in New England. So, yeah, Bill O'Brien, pressure's on you, brother. Like you got to come through, man.
I just love that image of Mac Jones trying to throw the football to Randy Moss down the field. Because I just see like of all those memes of like he goes back to pass and he throws the ball and it's like 2 feet and he rolls. Yeah. Love it.
But I mean, it's something that a lot of times people and GMs don't think about. Like you've got to have complementary wide receivers to your quarterback. Like it's fine to pair up Randy Moss with Josh Allen who can throw the ball a country mile. But with Mac Jones, you've got to get guys that get open immediately. Like you don't have 10 yards to play with to get open. You got to get open within 3 to 4 yards. Hunter Renfrow is great at that. That's the kind of guy you want to go after. Or if you want to go the other route, you get a big body guy. You get a Mike Evans or a T Higgins where, maybe they're not open, but just store it up somewhere in that vicinity and they'll go up and get it.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Now, I mean, is there anyone in the draft that because we know Bill's cheap. We know Bill's cheap, and I don't think Bob Kraft is going to crack open that wallet again after the 2 years ago he spent like a drunken sailor and it completely blew up in their face. Is there anyone in the draft that they could possibly go after?
Jackson Smith and Jigba, my Ohio State wide receiver from the Ohio State University. Now, last year, he was hurt for most of the year, so he only had like 5 catches. He didn't play much at all last year. So that's my only concern with JSN. Is the fact that his hamstring is somewhat, not all there yet, in my opinion, but with enough rehab and enough, an NFL training program, he'll be fine. Now, the reason why I like JSN so much is obviously last year he didn't do well, but the year before that, in 2001, we had Garrett Wilson on our staff, we had Chris Olave on our roster, and we had JSN. And out of all 3 of those wide receivers at Ohio State, JSN led them in catches. Like he outproduced Garrett Wilson and Olave when they were there at Ohio State. So that will give you a good indication of just what kind of pedigree he has.
Nice. Jay, I only have like one bullet point that's kind of different, and it's only because we've talked about it offline. I kind of just want to pick your brain on it. We were talking about the quarterback position for the last couple of weeks for the New England Patriots. Now
check out my quarterback getting basically pushed down into China.
Love it. Put it in the Louvre.
Look at this picture right here. What a
love
bitch.
it. But real quick for like the quarterback position, I think that's a legitimate one as well too. Like, would you rather have Stetson Bennett, or do you still like your guy and Hendon Hooker out of Tennessee, regardless of the knee injury?
Let's go, Hendon Hooker. Yes, yes. So it all depends on what kind of capital you want to give up. Now, I'm of the mindset that Hendon Hooker is a guy that before his torn ACL, he was on the Heisman trajectory. Like he was basically on that path of winning the national championship, taking on Georgia again. Like I thought he was going to be able to beat them. And Hendon Hooker is getting lost in the shuffle here because of his injury, but he is so special, man. Like his explosiveness, his arm talent, the fact that he can run, all of that, I would love to take him. The problem is other teams are also kind of thinking about that game plan as well, taking Hendon Hooker somewhere in the third or fourth round, stash him for a year, and then playing him in 2024. Right, yeah, 2024.
Mm.
So I think if the Patriots want to get aggressive and they take him in the third round, I don't see Bill Belichick doing that, taking a quarterback like that and then having him sitting for a year. So I think in reality, it's going to be more Stetson Bennett, like somebody that's in the sixth or seventh round that we can find that we can develop and kind of, have there in the background. Now, I'm still a fan of Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi's a good quarterback, in my opinion. He's obviously not starting quarterback material, so you're gonna have to keep him on the roster. But I would love nothing more for Bill Belichick to take a flyer on a Hendon Hooker and see where it goes, man.
I'm here for the chaos because I would love to see like Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts light in New England with the
Mhm.
potential quarterback controversy of let's say they take a Hendon Hooker or they take a Stetson Bennett, but for argument's sake, let's just assume it's going to be Stetson Bennett in the sixth round. And Mac Jones has a bad game, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, that ankle
Mhm.
injury really flared up again, and they put Stetson Bennett in there and to the eye test, and it looks good, and he's also pushing the football down the field, and it doesn't look like it's an adventure. I'm here for the chaos, so
Well,
let's
Well,
go.
Mac Jones is going to have a short leash this year. Let's get that correct 100 because there's so much like negative animosity, in my opinion, built up between Bill Belichick and Mac Jones. Like I think to this day, I'll read a report of this. Bill Belichick still didn't like how Mac Jones handled himself, showing up Matt Patricia in turn, which is showing up Bill Belichick. Like, let's be real about that. I'm kind of like, being this point to a drum here. Like, that offense last year was Bill Belichick's offense. Like I get it, Matt Patricia's the face of it because he's the guy that verbalizes his commands, Bill Belichick's commands to the quarterback. But in reality, that is a Bill Belichick offense. And when Mac Jones is showing up, quote unquote, Matt Patricia on national TV, he's actually showing up Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick, don't forget that shit. We know he's petty. We know he, in the back of his mind, he's like, you know what? All right, kid, if you're going to be that much of a douche, you better start performing next year. Because if he doesn't, bro, leash, pull,
Mm-hmm.
pull his ass.
Love it. I'm here for the chaos, so let's go. Oh
That'd be
man.
so good. I can't wait for it. Like this is where we've been reduced to as Patriots fans. Like we can't actually get to the point of like winning anymore. So we just gotta like root for like storylines, like the chaos. That's what we can root for now.
Yes. Welcome to life as a normal franchise, Jay.